Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Monday evening connection, Monday night, wherever you are. Some of you in different places in the world. Some of you are actually watching it early in the morning, and so forth, right? So we are, as we spoke last week, we entering to what we call the Passover, which is a cosmic tool that has been given to us by the creator of this world. There is a goal that we want to achieve. And again, it's important for what I'm going to share with you today. For those of you, sometimes it's the first time, some of you are coming for a while. It takes time to adapt to this type of consciousness, okay? Because, we might using the same words, but the connection to it is completely different. So obviously, many people around the world celebrating Passover. But as we learned last week and the previous week, we realize it's really not the Passover that we knew before. I hope you listen to the recording, for those of you who had the chance to. Now, what is happening? Passover is the day of going out of Egypt. And then supposedly 7 days later, the Israelites going out of Egypt travel to get into what we call the Red Sea, right? And that is what the 7th of Passover represent. What? The splitting of the Red Sea. Some of you probably heard Kriyat Yam Suf. You heard about the splitting of the Red Sea. Scientists still trying to figure out whether it's happened or not, whether the water was shallow, whether it was like all kind of reasons. And to be quite honest, who cares? That wasn't the point. To prove something, once you prove one point, you're missing out on another point. It's just a spiral. And anytime you're trying to prove something that happening spiritually in a physical term, you always get messed up. Therefore, whatever you can, whatever comes to you as information in the physical world, you can accept or not. That's up to you. But spiritually, you cannot argue with that. Why? Because it's like a nuclear energy. You don't play around with that. If you're gonna walk a day with a pocket full of C4 and matches, right? If you know what C4, right? Explosive. C4 is explosive. Right? So at some point of the day, it might light on fire and go boom, right? So if you play with the wrong energy for too long, it's eventually gonna shoot back at you. So really what we want to learn is how to use this mechanism, this physical body that is a mechanism, is a very highly sophisticated mechanism to funnel to this world more light, more revelation, and increase more happiness, increase more. Many of us are in the process of decreasing our excitement for life, decreasing our motivation, unless there's like something got us, get too excited, right? But majority of us is, decreasing, as opposed to a large group of people today that speaks about immortality and rejuvenation and life extensions and all of that. The Kabbalist always speaks about immortality. So the goal of Kabbalah is to achieve the level of immortality, meaning that there is no end to anything I'm touching, I'm involved with. Okay, it's not just you live forever. Immortality is, that your business will continue, that your friendship will continue, that your family will continue, that relationship will continue. That type of immortality we want for everything, not just to not to die. Yeah, you can be alive for 150 years, but miserable. So that's not the life. That's what we're talking about. Being an immortal in every area of your life. And for that, we need the 7th of Pesach. What is it? Splitting the Red Sea. So now let me tell you the 1%, the physical story that we all learn. The Israelites running, going away from Egypt, they come into the Red Sea and they start complaining. Why you brought us here to die? And especially, there's two people instigating everybody. We know exactly who are those two people who instigate everyone. By the way, the Egyptians behind us, they're about to kill us. And everybody starts commotion. You can read it. It's a literal way, or you can read it. Commotion and like a mess, oh, let's kill Moses. Let's go back to Egypt. Right? Because instead of they killing us here, let's go back. Let's go to where we were. We had food. In the desert, we have nothing. And now we're standing in front of the ocean. And what are we going to do? So everybody's complaining. Everybody's scared. Everybody's screaming. And they come to Moses. What do you brought us here to die? Right? So Moses, obviously, in a way of asking, what should I do? Right? There's a voice came out. The voice says, Ma titzak elai. Why you shout to me? Why you screaming to me? Why you cry to me? Wait a second, you're supposedly God. If we're not going to ask you, who are we going to ask? And if you study the Zohar a little bit more, Kabbalah deeper, you realize it's not really what happened. Because when you hear the word, why you calling me, it's not that there is a creator who is like upset. Don't bother me. I'm like, I already took you out of Egypt. Why are you bothering me right now, right? Many people think we're bothering some kind of God, or there's an angry God that is upset with us, We're gonna eventually learn how to create a real relationship with that creation and with this beautiful creator of this world. In the word, why you scream to me, you can find that it tells them, I already inserted all the solution within you. And from that, we learn that for every situation that occur in your life, any difficulty, any challenge, you received already the solution before the problem came. That's a spiritual rule that you cannot change. Yeah, but I don't see it. Already 20 years. 20 years because you're going in the wrong direction. You never open your eyes to see. It was all along there. All along. It's like, when I look for my glasses. Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? Right? All along they're on your head. Happened to you before? Right? Your keys. Where's my keys? Where's my keys? All along this pocket. Right? But because you usually put them here. And many, many times. So all along, the solution was already inserted within us. That's how we are being built. That's who we are. So, for example, many people ask a question and they don't get the answer, right? Oh, what should I do? Any question that comes out of your mouth, the reason you have that question is because the answer is already right there as you ask the question. Most of us are so dense. Or maybe, let's put it this way, consumed with what we want to hear, or consumed with what we want to see. Therefore, we cannot even observe the word that comes out of our mouth comes with an answer, comes with a solution. Right? The venom, as we spoke about it, is within the vaccination is within the venom of the snake, right? We know that. Therefore, what is he sharing with us this week? Tomorrow night, we enter into what we call the 7th day of Passover, which is the energy of splitting of the Red Sea. Because once everybody realizes what is the message, that all along I have the solution within me, I just need to take a step. So the one guy that jumped to the water, his name is Nachshon ben Aminadav, he performed certainty beyond. He performed what we call the energy of Atika. Atika, it's the ancient one. Atik, it's ancient. What is the ancient one? The depth of your desire. So that's what was performed there. So let's speak about it a little bit more, because what we're talking about here is not some ocean or sea in Africa, right? We're talking about that every single day, each one of us wake up and stand in front of our own Red Sea. That is the Kabbalistic message. The Creator or the Torah or the messages that written was never about you. Oh, let's hear historically, we are the strongest one. And some people think is the Jewish people, right? We are this, we split the Red Sea. It's people, it's human. That power, that window is never just about specific individual or ethnicity or color or shape. The Creator opened that gate from the creation of the world. Yes, specific people who were engaged with Moses, they knew how to access this power. And that's why we have it today. And that's what we're sharing here today. Nobody asked you, wait a second, are you a part of it? No, and we're never will ask you. Because you need to understand what we're talking about is cosmic tool that's been given to humanity. It's nothing to do with people. It's nothing to do with specific nation or Hebrew people. That's otherwise we wouldn't share it. We would only invite only the few people to study with. That's the instruction. No, the instruction of Kabbalah, of many Kabbalists throughout the last 100 years and more, right? But mostly in the 100 years, go and spread this wisdom. Show people the beauty and the power of who they are, because religion didn't do the work. Okay, so getting stuck behind, okay, to split the Red Sea, what does it got to do with me? I want to know how it get to my life. And first of all, is to understand that it says the word, when you said it in English, it's not the same, the Red Sea. In Hebrew, it's called Yam Suf, right? Chatziat Yam Suf. The Yam is ocean or sea, of Suf. Suf is those like sugar canes or something like that. They call it sugar cane, I think, right? The sugar cane, they call it Knes Suf. Yeah. The sugar cane, right? Knes Suf, right? Knes Sukkah, Knes Suf. But there's like those branches, like I forgot the name. What? Papyrus. Okay. But they use the word suf, which is the same word for sof, for end, for finite energy. Splitting the Red Sea is, again, the translation in English, that's what it means. But is to split, is to pierce, is to separate you from a consciousness of end, consciousness of finite, consciousness of emptiness, consciousness of lack. That's what is your Red Sea. That is what you need to overcome. Let's say, for example, you want to be in relationship, you want your business the next level, you don't see how, you don't see it because you're standing in front of the ocean. That's what it is. So you're calling people, what should I do? I call this, I call that. Yeah, you're finding ways. But remember, the energy that is available tomorrow night, the cosmic opening that was created, is that in the way of nature, there are many limitations. But most of us who study this wisdom for a while know that those limitations meant just to give us the opportunity to overcome them. Many people see limitations, it's like, oh, okay, I can't do that, or I cannot do this. This should not be a word. The energy that we want to connect is to understand that those limitations, that sea that we're standing in front of, that end, that soft, that end of the road, or the relationship is end, or that is end, or now he's not with me and my life is over, or now they left me, or I got fired from my job. This is the end of life. No, it's only in your mind, the limitation. Once it's accepted in your mind that there is limitation, that's how it's going to play it out in your life. Once in your mind there is an ocean there that you cannot cross, that ocean will never be open to you, for you. Physical nature is a beautiful, beautiful gift that we have. But we never meant to submit ourselves to be less than nature. We born to become above the nature. above the limitation of the zodiac that people says, oh yeah, you know, I'm this sign. We spoke about it in the last couple of weeks about astrology. Also in the Shabbat downtown, I'm going to bring a Kabbalistic astrology so everybody will start to understand what are we talking about. It's not the usual astrology that we like, oh, okay, I'm an Aries, or I'm this, or I'm this, or I'm that. This is not what we're talking about. It's to recognize your limitation and use the tools that have been given to us. Again, there is the universal tool, the cosmic opportunity. We spoke about them. But there's also tools that we've been given physically to use to observe that or to overcome that. So now we understand the goal of what we want to connect on Tuesday night, tomorrow night. What it is, the power or the source, or to plug into a source of energy that will allow me in 6 months, in 7 months, in 2 months, you never know when you need that energy, to overcome a limitation that comes across or come to you or being presented to you. And you might think, no, there's no, that's it, it's done. It's doomed and over. Never. Never, 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 never. We're never meant to be in this world, to the world, to live life in this limitation. As the co-creator, as the people who are meant to reveal the most amount of light in the world, right? Not like animals, not like trees, not like any species here. Only human meant to reveal the greatest light in this world, the greatest revelation, and we see it across the world. We all going to face an end, meaning a chapter that is end, feeling that of an end, fears of an end, okay? This is why you need that energy. And when you connect it to that tomorrow night, with, of course, with this consciousness, all of a sudden, nothing seems impossible. In 2 months, in 3 months, in 8 months, you never know when this year you're going to face that. But that's why, I guess, apparently while we are together, if you listen to this, probably that's why you need to hear it, because of something that will come to you, and you will need to use that energy. Remember, I told you, everything comes to you before anything that is facing in your life. So, we understand the goal, we understand what we're connecting to. What are the tools, or what are the work that I need to do with myself so I would be able to observe the unlimited state, or the no limitation place, or the finite, you know, or the borders that we cannot go there, or that will never happen, or that I will never get it, or all of that we're solving in this week. So hopefully that's clear, so I can continue to go a little bit deeper with that. So, as I said before, once it's accepted in your mind as limitation, as truth, your mind takes it, bring it to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind start to communicate with other subconscious minds, all the minds of the world, to make sure that for you, it will be limited. That's how it works. Now, let me explain a little bit more. Let's go a little bit, maybe scientific a little bit. We have mind. Oh, we have the brain. Let's talk about the brain. The brain has functionality. Most of us know, right? Most of us know that our brain have a problem. Our mind, and brain is the physical, our mind is what is the functionalities or the connection that we're inserting. What limits our mind? Very simple. What do you use as tools to bring information to your mind? Eyes, ears, smell, mouth, right? Senses. Our senses That's what we meant to be used as tool to expand, to share, to learn, to observe, to hear, to listen, right? And now our brain, well, when you read a book, what's happening with the book? You're using your eyes. But what will happen with the information? Information, as I said before, information is almost nothing unless it become knowledge. You might hear information right now. You hear me talking. It's just information. It's a nice, amazing, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. That stays in suspense until you take an action and you make that knowledge. Information everybody has, and there's infinite information, but not everybody have knowledge, which means information become knowledge. Our mind have a problem. Our mind know that our senses, like say for example, to see, sight. Everybody, thank God, looks healthy, looking and seeing. What if I tell you that what we see, or actually most of us, don't see at all? We're not seeing anything, or even hearing, right? Because our ears or hearing is very selective. Very, very selective. And even if you heard someone speaking, try to repeat everything I said in this class, you would probably gonna get 5%. Even if you listen carefully to what I said, maybe 5%. Unless you hear it over and over and over and over, that's something else. That's called repetition. That's a different channel. But when you hear something, you need to know that your mind is limited because it's been used, right, by senses. And the senses limiting the brain, the mind. And the mind, because you're using senses to absorb information, the mind says, okay, I will never let you use your eyes. I mean, let's say, for example, you in your eyes, you see, again, even scientifically, my friend, don't believe a word I'm telling you. You see, what do we actually see? Let's say you see this rubber band over here. No, what you see is only, they call it 0.0001 from the actual reality. That's what they call it, the science. Right? That's what they say. But I'll go with you simple. What you see is only 1% of that band. Only 1%. When you use your senses only for 1%, why do we have all these 99%? And when imagine your information that comes to the mind flow through a 1%. So what does this do to your mind? It creates, slavery. Your mind knows that if each one of us will start using our eyes correctly or our ears, smell, right? I just shared earlier. I went with my dog today. I walked the dog, and he got stuck on a little leaf, right? Little leaf, not just the leaf, the tip of the leaf, like something so tiny, and he's smelling it. He's enjoying. I said, how? I was like literally today walking, and I was like, what? He's enjoying this little leaf, smelling it, and he gets so much, like, he's drooling, whatever, from a little leaf. It's not the leaf, of course, it's not that size. If I will take a piece of paper and put another smell of another dog, he also gonna enjoy it. But what happened was the dog is better than you? No. Dog just access more. If we would access the sense of smell that we have, if our mind will allow us to access it, you would be able to bring the smell of heaven into this world. If you would hear extra, I mean, when you see, I spoke about it many times, but I cannot really convince you until you will really get it deeply. If I'll tell you that right now in front of your eyes, there is a transaction of a $2 billion from that bank to this bank. And it's right here. Can you see it? Can you see it? They just transferred $2 billion. You see it? What would you tell me? Is it possible that it's moving right now? Yes or no? Look at people answer yes. You understand what we're saying? Is there a radio waves going on right now? But forget about that. How do you see me? How did I transfer? How do you see me on that phone? No wire. Did I came through this? How did I do it? Oh yeah, it's technology. It's like, oh, well, satellite. Everybody. You understand? You don't see anything. You understand what you see is only 1%. What you see makes your mind slave to it. Therefore, they work together. This is not a good combination. The mind and the senses is not a good combination because the mind knows that your senses been used only in a very fractional way. Very like a tiny spark of your senses has been used. Therefore, the mind not going to let you. You know, we spoke about it many times before. Have you heard about it that with great power come great responsibility? Have you heard it before? Yeah, have you heard that? Wrong statement, right? It's a very wrong statement. Why it's a wrong statement? Because it's not possible. It has to be the other way around. You don't get the power, then you realize, oh, I'm so responsible. If you use your senses, and this is what I would like today to establish, a responsible senses, more responsibility over your senses, you get more power to use them. Let me tell you more. What is the goal of your senses? This is an incredible idea here. For those of us who have been around religion or even being around spirituality, you know, there's a concept, mostly religion presented this way. There's a concept they speak about is to make or to give pleasure to the Creator or to God. I don't wanna, if you grew up religion, you know that it's like you're meant to do everything for God, right? Sacrifice for God and all of that. For me, it never made any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. There is a God or light or infinite force who's sitting there like, you know, I'm not happy with you, right? I'm not happy with you, you know, you're so lazy, you know, okay. You don't give me any pleasure, right? I'm upset with you. You know, it's like people, I cannot imagine that the force of creation have an inclination of wanting something in return. It cannot be. You know, like for example, if you build a company and you have employees, right? Or let's say you're working for a company. Don't you want to know that your boss is happy with you in the work that you've done so you can do better and better? Is it correct to say? Everybody's naturally, oh, you go to work and who cares about the boss? I'll do whatever I want. Hey, you're not going to work here tomorrow. It's everyone. But when you go to work, yeah, I need to perform. My boss is happy. Hey, boss, you happy? You happy with me? Yeah, good. Let's continue the work. I'm very happy. You're going to give me the bonus this year? Yeah, I'm very happy. You know, I'm going to continue performing. How much money you want me to make for the company next year? You know, all of that. Forget about that. If you are a business person here and you took investment from someone, you have investor. If you have investor, all day long, you're running around them, making them happy. My friend, I've been around so many times and been many people that are taking big money from others, from banks, from this all day long. It's like, are you happy with me? Like it's amazing. If they will do it for the Creator, they won't need that investor, right? The money will be there. So what do I need to do all day long? Like, God, are you happy with me? Creator, are you happy with me? No. It says we want to achieve the level of להשפיע נחת רוח ליוצר. What does it mean? To influence or to give peace or to give, pleasure to the giver, to the Creator. That's what the Kabbalistically we're speaking about. So that's already a problem. How can I give to a force that know only to give? It's like I said before, you know, if you stand under a waterfall, let's say you stand under the Niagara Falls. Have you ever stand under? You can go under the water. In a boat. No. But I'm saying you're standing in front of the Niagara Falls. Try to even stand for a second under. It's gonna knock you down. Let alone to think I can give back. Can you push it back with you? No, it's impossible to give back to any creator. All this is a false accusation of religion. Oh, he's gonna have, if I'm gonna pray this, he's gonna be happy with me. If I'm gonna put the feelings, he's gonna be happy with me. If I'm gonna give, he's gonna be happy. Friend, let's now understand once and for all. Every time we're speaking about giving pleasure to the creator, it's nothing to do with giving to the creator. He cannot receive from you. So what does it mean? This is a very beautiful idea or consciousness to have. When does the creator is so happy with you? When you receive. When you receive. That's what it means. When you're capable of endlessly receiving, that's giving pleasure to the creator. Because now I can funnel on you more. That's the idea. If I achieve the level of influence into the creator, I give him, okay, God, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do this. Oh, look, I help you, the poor people in your town. You think I need you? You think there's a God who needs you to give money to the poor or to orphan or this? It's all our opportunity. It's not like I'm doing it for God. No. We need to shift that. If you achieve the level, that you transform yourself to be a channel of the creator, of the light of the creator, now you give so much pleasure. You imagine, I hope with the help of tonight, each one of you will get married, have children. But if you have children, right? You have children, and they grow up, and then imagine, your kids come to you and say, I don't want to hear an advice from you, or I don't want to receive your love. You know how painful it is? Or when you really want to give to your child and they don't have the capacity to receive from you, it's so much pain, right? At least for as a parent. It's the most beautiful pleasure when your child want to receive from you and actually use it. And you see that what he's using is making it better to others, Like again, when you see children in their process of growth and transforming themselves as they grow, right? They start doing things that you realize, wow, they learned it 2 years ago. Now it came out. It's an amazing process when you see it. What is the idea? Yes, the creator of this world waiting. Are you gonna imagine if you are today transform yourself, instead of being focusing just on me, just focusing on influence to others? You cannot make any creator more happier than this moment. If you're really thinking just for others, like really, not like others and then, when they didn't give me back, I'm upset. That's not really giving to others or influence to others, So now I would like to speak about the idea of the senses. Let's go back to the mind and the senses. We meant to achieve the level. Listen to this. I said many times, even now, we're going to work, we're working hard, we're opening a business, we're selling, we're buying. We think that's what we came here to do. No. You came here just to be able, even with your eyes, to reveal so much light that only with your eyes. Forget about speaking. Speaking is a completely different level of revelation. As I said, with the smell, you smell something, it's bring complete calmness to this world from a smell. Like anyone that you come and my friend is doing all these herbs and stuff, right? So you go somebody's home and they light some incense and some herbs and stuff like that. You feel like, wow. The atmosphere, right? Smell bring atmosphere. You can literally change and transform people only with just smell. Or have you heard about listening? Have you heard about that if you listen to someone, you help them so much more than if you just speaking to them? Just by listening, right? Lend an ear, they call it, right? If you're really listening, most people are not even listening, or they're not even hearing. Or they speak, forget about it. So only with your senses, as I said before, if you're going to start today, and again, tomorrow night, the energy is being downloaded to this universe. You can use it, but you have to think about, can I make more commitment over my senses? Take more responsibility over your senses. Then more power will be open for you. Okay? So how do I take responsibility over my senses? Think about, first of all, your eyes. Your eyes. You're going into let's say a room, or let's say you go to a restaurant, or you go to anything, or let's say an event, or the office. Most people, what are they looking at? Where is my seat? Where is the food? Who is going to be? Where more comfortable? Where is my exit strategy? Right? Looking for what's wrong, looking for what's, last or type of energy, or looking for what can I grab, looking for what can I take, looking for what gives me pleasure. Right? Most of us using the eyes, also we call it like, have you heard that people speak about it, the idea like, oh, I don't want to, talk to that person, they give me the evil eye. Have you heard that before? What does it mean? They give me the evil eye. It's not just in America, it's all over, right? How do you know what is eye give? How do you see the eyes giving? How do you see it, right? There's an energy there. There's a spirit that comes through your eyes. So when you start using your eyes in a way, what do you mean? Why they have, why I didn't have? Oh, I see what they got. I see how the dress sits on her and the jeans sits on him, and that this and they, right? We're looking at, oh yeah, Why are you looking? The motivation of your eyes need to change. What I would like you to start looking at, or at least to be responsible, take responsibility over your eyes and stop wandering in something that is none of your business. Like my kids like to say, it's Nanya. Says what, Nanya? Nanya business, right? That's what they... So tell yourself, where you go? Eyes. It's not your business. Look, he's staring at people. Why? What's you staring? What are you getting out of it? Oh yeah, I get some good energy, a good vibe. Change it. Stop, put your eyes down, and only raise them when you want to give, when you want to influence. It happened to you before when someone just looked at you and you felt like, wow, relaxed. You feel like calmness come from these eyes. You feel compassion from the eyes. You look at somebody, you see the happiness in their eyes. Yes, you see the spark in their eyes. This is the eyes you want to have. This is the only eyes you want to have. And it's nothing to do with especially to those people. It's work and take responsibility. Take responsibility on your eyes, and then you're going to start getting the power to shine lights. Like the Superman have these bionic eyes, and these like burning things, right? The same thing you have with light, shining light in people's, in people. Like, look at the good of others instead of looking like, oh, what's wrong and what's in it for me. Start taking responsibility on your eyes, and your eyes will start shining to people. And therefore, it means that you gave so much pleasure to the Creator, because now you're using your eyes in the correct way. And the correct way is only to influence. If I read, what do you read? What do you read? All kind of like pop magazines, I call them, those magazines, people magazines. I don't know, is there still? Huh? Tabloid, whatever. Or you read the newspaper. What do you read in the newspaper? How does it make you feel after you read the newspaper? Tell me if you feel so much pleasure. Tell me if you feel the Creator will really influence you, or is a complete dark Lord, sits on you after you read the news. Tell me. And why you continue in the next day the same thing? That's what I don't get. How many of you scrolling or swiping, whatever it is you call it, and see, sometimes you get those feeds, people send me a check, I like something funny. I like sometimes you look something, you receive ridiculous things, and some of them it's horrible. I have to close my eyes. It's horrible things, right? And sometimes it comes like things that, why you putting it on video? Why are you sending it to people? Right? We have to understand, protect your eyes. I always tell, and we always learn, why there are traffic in the highway? Because of curious people, right? Anybody know? Oh, there's an accident in the other side. How? Have you ever seen this crazy? You go in the highway, there's an accident, nobody stops. They just slowing down, watching, and continuing. Why? If you care about it, just stop the car in the side of the road and go help. Why are you slowing down? Pretending. Are you okay? Bye-bye. Are you okay, right? Are you okay? That's what we're doing. What are we doing? The other side also. They stop. What's happening there? That is unnecessary information to your mind. And if your mind observes that you using your eyes to see something that is Nanya, okay, from now on, I'm going to go call it Nanya. It's Nanya. So now the mind sees, oh, that's a responsible individual. I'm going to let them see something that somebody else cannot see. In a crowd of people, you will detect something that nobody will detect. And this is the power. So through your eyes, again, this is just the eyes, you would be able to share so much light. And again, many people think, tomorrow I'm going to go work, make $1 billion. I'm going to feed the hungers of the waste of time. We meant just to sit and look and share light through the ears, through the eyes. Ears. What are you meant to do? You should know, every day there is a voice, a strong voice to each one of us that comes and tell us exactly what we need to work on or change. Did you hear it today? No. Most of us are blocked. We don't hear. Why? Because the mind sees that what do you want to hear? Gossiping is more lucrative, right? Give me energy. Right? Anybody likes gossiping? Or not to say, but to listen to it. No. Anybody like it? Nobody will admit, right? But if they already tells me, I'm sure, yeah. I don't want to listen, but okay, if you want to share. Nonsense, man. Everybody's enjoying that. Hearing how bad the other things or what they did. Did you hear what they did? No, I don't want to hear it. Really, just tell me a little bit, just once you start, it's like a full force going on, on 100 miles per hour, until blah, blah, blah. Diarrhea of gossiping about everyone, right? You just let me speak. I'm not talking even about evil tongue, like speaking even really go evil, more evil, right? Or harm people. By what? By let them hear information. It's unnecessary. Why is it important to? Because again, this is going to bring us to the mouth. Wait, we're not there yet. But you have to protect your ears, my friend. I don't want to hear it. How is it information is necessary for me? But how do I know? How can I know what they're going to tell me? You can ask, what are you about to tell me? Right? And you will know. Most of us, when we're listening, what are we listening in a conversation? Like Israelis. Israelis have very unique, way of listening to each other. They both talk in the same time. So that's how they're listening, right? Yeah, but I just said no, but you said at the same time. I don't know what anyone heard anything, but they spoke, right? Yeah, we had a good conversation, right? We both said at the same time. That's the joke that we always have. So what I recommend is to start be responsible for your ears. How? First of all, lend an ear. Learn how many people think that listening is a passive thing. Okay, tell me what you want. I'm listening. Are you listening? That's a passive way of listening. Listening is a very active, involved, without words, only with your ears. Only with your ears. Now, really, you have to understand, listening is when you completely get out of yourself and try to listen what you want to hear, as opposed to be just a channel to listen to the friend who want to share, or somebody want to tell me something. Very important to start using the ears in the correct way. And by listening, you're transforming people's life. How many times happened to you before you heard a song or a music that makes you feel so good? You have that song? Like for me recently, I like this what do you call it? Calm Down, the song Calm Down. I don't know, it got me, it got me like, I don't know, he's just saying calm down. I'm like, oh, wow, it's good. I don't know, sometimes, maybe it's going to last maybe another day or two, but for the time being, I'm enjoying it. I'm listening. Oh, wow, this song came again. Oh, wow, it's cool. My kids hate it, It's like, we're driving in the car, the song came, I'm putting volume. They go, no, calm down. They go like ballistic on me, right? And then it's a test. Can I calm down, right? Anyway, so as we speak, listening have a very powerful energy. If you learn how to listen, you can take down all the anger, take down all the frustration, take down all the selfishness by really using your ears. Again, I just want to skip, I'm going to jump to the mouth, because this is the key. Because we started in Pesach, remember, Pesach, the mouth to speak. Most of us have no power in our mouth. Most of us cannot reveal light in our words, because it's almost like it's empty. There's no energy comes down through the mouth. Why? Check what you know what I'll tell you practical thing. Every time you speak, check after, why did I say that? Just ask yourself, why did I say that? Majority of the reasoning behind anything you speak, it's for a selfish reason, for serving myself alone. And if you can check me, don't believe a word I'm saying, and you will see. Either you open your mouth to, hey, can you do me a favor, get me something, this? That's what you're going to open your mouth. Open your mouth to say something that people will respect you. Say something that people will approve you. Or say something that to fill up a space. The elevator space. You're going to an elevator. How are you doing? Why are you asking? You really want to know? Most of the time when you're asking something is absolutely empty. Absolutely. You can pretend on whatever it is. I would love to use my words, my mouth, for the sake of revealing the word of the Creator, the word of the creation, the word of my soul, the word of the light. I want my words to help and propel people up, change people's life. I want every word that I'm saying will make it happen. That's what happened in splitting of the Red Sea. Each one of them took responsibility on that illusion that they fell into, and thinking that they speaking, they saying, they listening. And really just by observing that energy, the ocean, that's why it says when they split the Red Sea, it says something very unique. Vera'u et hakolot. They saw the voices. There was a sing that's going on, Shirat Hayam, it's called the song of the ocean, of the sea. And it says that every time there was that song that was playing, the voice was actually, they could see the voices. That's to understand. It's nothing to do with what we see today, what we hear today. So hopefully this time, if we can take responsibility on each one of them and observe that and see how powerful it become, how strong. You just listening to someone, you change their life. You didn't have to say anything. You know how many times I have meetings with people? I'm sitting in the room. The person talked for like 30, 40 minutes, and then get up and says, wow, you helped me a lot. Wow, that's great. It really, really helped a lot. But I didn't say anything. You know, sometime in the beginning, I didn't know that. In the many, many years ago, I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was, you know, a good boy listening, you know, to somebody come, you know, speak to me, you know, as a teacher. And then after 30 minutes, they go, says, wait a second, what happened? Is it okay? Yeah, you helped me tremendously. So I'm telling you, this is amazing. I was like, okay, I didn't know. I said, this makes my work easy, right? But really, if you're listening, you really want to know, you're really interested, you really open, you really give yourself up, give up yourself and step outside of yourself for the sake of somebody else. That's when it works. So hopefully with that, at least start. I'm going to speak as we grow along more about it. There's tremendous power into that. But remember, your mind, you know, I saw earlier, you know, when you speak about scientifically, right? You know, the cerebral cortex, right? So it divided to 4 parts. It's like, again, in Kabbalah, there's the 4 phases we're speaking about. Each phase or each part of the brain, or not the brain, but the cerebral, is in charge of different functionality that most of them is built by consciousness. And that's what the Kabbalah speaks about. You need to work on your consciousness all the time. Once your consciousness is in the right place, all the functionality of your mind is under supervision of a higher level of what we call human consciousness. So the way it works is if you build human consciousness, which that's what we start speaking about from Passover, is in charge of all the 4, again, the cerebral cortex is involved in everything you do, how to speak, how to move, how to look, everything. Like, again, it's in charge of 50% of your brain, or almost, you know, in functionality, in transfer of anything. That is what is it. Kabbalistically, we know, again, you know what, even scientifically, people say that we use 4% of our mind, our brain. And the geniuses, they say they use 8%. You know what? I'm very generous. I go with 10%. Go ahead. Again, but is it 10%? No, it's not 10% this way. It's like you have a phone, right? Anybody use all the functions on the phone all the time, or using 1 or 2 functions? 10% makes sense. But let me ask you something. If you buy this TV, you see the TV behind me? You bought your flat screen TV. I'm so happy. I'm coming home. I want to see my my hockey game. I press on. Boom, 10% only works on the TV. It's a good game. What would it do? Oh, what is it? Right? Would you be okay with that? Anyone will be okay with that? Oh, you buy the most expensive car, but only 10% working. Anyone is okay with that? I'm not okay with that. Now, again, it's not that, that your mind doesn't work 100%. Yeah, you don't have access to it. It works. It works, you know, because, you know, it doesn't give you more access because of this. So think about it. This, again, if you would get few more percent, I'm talking about. I'm not, again, it's 10%. All this amazing power. 10%. We okay with that? Again, I'm large. I'm giving you 10%. Scientifically, it's way less. But in this world, we okay. So obviously, what is in charge of allowing you access more of these cerebral abilities to increase, to learn language in a second? Would you like to learn Chinese? Boom, I give you download, boom. Right? Like you download in your phone. Oh, I want a keyboard to speak Chinese. Boom. At that second, that's how your mind is. So this is what's happening tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, you break through all limitation. How? You have to take responsibility by first realizing how you use your senses and own that, and make commitment to use them way more than is just for you, than to use them for others. Way more than you use it for you, to use them for others. You go into the room, who needs a seat? Who needs this? Who needs you have a plate, you have a knife, you have a fork, you have your drink, you have your, where's your water? You want up? Why? Always look what's missing. Hearing. Get out of yourself. Let people use the hearing, the listening power, right? And so forth. In your words, I said before, check why you said what you said. Most of the time, if all the time, it's very, very much just to serve you. So if that is the truth, you stop talking. And you talk only when it's about to influence. And slowly, slowly, you're not going to stop talking. Because it's going to be only about others, only about influencing, only to be outside of yourself. So this is very, very important time, my friend. If you have a chance to listen to it again, if you have a chance to really take time and work on it, and then later on, as you start, after this, tomorrow night is going to happen tomorrow night. The energy is revealed throughout the Wednesday. So please connect to it, journal, write down, make commitment, and act upon it. And reminding you, April 21st, if you're in New York, if you want to come to New York, we have the Kabbalistic Shabbat in the gospel. We usually like to go to club or any most darker club, because we like to bring light from darkness. So that's why we go in to a place like that, and we're going to bring Shabbat from there. So that's very exciting. Space is very limited. Do me a favor, if you've never been, don't wait. Don't hesitate right now, because I don't know how much we left, but we're going to speak about it after. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a beautiful holidays.